From classrooms to the field, truth and laughter both revealed. Tune in for that special feel. Nampa School's always real. Welcome to Nampa, where dreams can grow. Matt and Tyler on the show. Welcome to Nampa, where dreams can grow. Matt and Tyler on the show. Welcome to Nampa, hear the beat. Join the podcast, take your seat.
All right. Well, that gets me every time still. I've heard it I don't know how many times, and I still crack up laughing.
Dreams can grow.
Yes. Welcome to Nampa, where dreams can grow. Well, welcome everybody to another edition of the Nampa School District Podcast. My name is Tyler Keefe, and with me, as always, is the glorious Matt Sizemore.
I like that. Thank you very much, Tyler. I'm feeling glorious, and good to be here as always. Episode 11?
12, I don't know.
I think
we lost count at 10.
Yeah, we did. How you feeling today?
I'm here.
That's good.
It is a Wednesday, which is a little off kilter, but
Sure.
it's okay. We had some scheduling conflicts and me not reading an email here and there, and Matt being Matt. So it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? We are excited today. Awesome guest. I'm gonna go with not our youngest guest we've ever had.
It's true. It's not our youngest.
Yes, but third, maybe fourth youngest guest, but the youngest coach that we have had on the program. Very excited about this, especially with a lot of the goings on that we are hearing about that are coming up shortly. So today joining us is assistant coach for the Nampa Unified Swim Team, Madi Bernard. Madi, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, how you doing today?
I'm good.
That's healthy. So you are the new assistant coach for the Nampa Unified Swim Team. Let me start with that really quick. What is the Nampa Unified Swim Team?
So the Nampa Unified Swim Team is a collection of all three of the public schools, any of the charters, and Nampa Christian. Any of those kids who want to swim, we swim together until districts and state, and then they split off into their schools, and they either split off into a public or into Nampa Christian. All of the kids from charters will go to their designated public schools.
Okay, gotcha. And you are, like we said, the new assistant coach as of just, a couple months ago, I assume, right?
Yeah, as of August.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about your background and how you got to where you are now.
Well, I started swimming when I was 11, and I swam until my senior year of high school. I swam competitively until my sophomore year of high school, and then I got injured, so I just swam high school after that. And then I started coaching the summer league team for my local club, and I just loved it. And they needed an assistant coach, and I was like, I'd love to coach. And the head coach now, John Apgar, was my first coach, and so getting to coach along him is really special.
Wow. So okay, full disclosure, last year you were a senior at Skyview High School.
Yes.
And now you are the assistant coach for the entire team. So why do you think it is that you were asked to take on such a big role so quickly?
I think it's because I understand kind of the dynamic of the team a little bit better than most people would. I have the background and experience, and I know most of the kids on like a personal level, so it's been really easy for me to just integrate. And I spent a lot of time injured, so I know a lot of just ways to improve your technique and things like that, and things that you need to specialize in. And I think I'm really good at it.
And let me ask one more thing. Sorry, Tyler. Let me ask just really quick one more thing on that note that you had mentioned. Most of the kids. These are students that you swam with, I assume.
Yes.
How are they doing with the transition from teammate to you being coach?
It was a little bit hard at the beginning. I think that they would come and talk to me, and I'd be like, you can't talk to me about that kind of stuff. Like, you guys gotta separate me as your coach. But I think it's really good. They really enjoy having someone that understands kind of what they're going through and like what they want to do. And John is a little bit on the older side, and so sometimes he has a hard time understanding some of the things that they're talking about. And it's I feel like they really appreciate having someone who can kind of like translate for him. So
translate
Yeah.
for
He's not, hip with the young kids.
He can be when he wants to be. That's
Bet.
occasional though.
Yeah, bet
I don't
whatever
know
that
what
means.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I still think of that one meme where it's got Steve Buscemi and he's got like skater gear on and he goes, I'm hip with the young kids.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Well, so Maddie, with the Nampa Unified Swim Team, I think you said it's been around for about 6 years.
Yes.
You've been a part of it for 5 of those 6 years.
Yep.
What are some of the past achievements that the team's had, current achievements, and kind of all that in a nutshell? Because for most people, they probably didn't even know we had a swim team.
Yeah. I'd say so. The first year that the team was founded, we had 4 girls that went on to, so they don't do this anymore, but there was a race past state where certain states would send their top relay teams, top individual placers, and they would compete. And we actually had a relay team that year take the whole, I think it was 4 or 5 states that did it. And that was very impressive.
That's big.
Yeah. And then every year we have state champions for multiple events from multiple different schools. Annalie Schaefer, Cade Schaefer, Sadie Schaefer, sibling trio that I've known my entire swimming career, and they are very present and they all have held records at some point or another. But Sadie actually just got a scholarship to University of Idaho to swim, and she's committed, and so that's very exciting. And then she was also a part 2 years ago when the Skyview girls won district or won state. We beat BK out by 1 point.
Oof.
And BK was pretty mad about it. It actually made the news. It got talked about a little bit because there's some controversial things there, but it was very impressive. There were 7 girls and BK had 20, I think, and we still won.
Nice.
Because we had, out of 5 of our 7 swimmers held every single race that they were in, they held the state championship title.
All the Schaefers.
Well, so at that point, it was just Sadie, but we had Nicole Dimitroscu, who is an incredible swimmer, Brie Ruark, and Camille. I can't remember what her last name is, but they all really helped us in being able to win.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I want to ask, so of course you had mentioned you were part of the Nampa Unified Swim Team, a collection of schools in the area. When you play, I mean, who is it you play? Do you play other collections of schools, or do you play individual schools, or how does that work around the state?
So we are considered a co-op team, and there are some teams that are co-op. It just depends upon whether or not their school is interested in it with another school. I know that CUNA is technically a co-op because they hold a Melba swimmer.
Okay.
CCU is a co-op just like we are there. Middleton, Valley View, that whole Caldwell bunch. But most of the time we swim against specific schools. Oh. So Boise High School, Timberline, BK, all of these schools are single schools.
Okay.
That we compete against. And we compete against them. We compete against other co-ops throughout the whole state.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
And so with that, next week is state.
Yes.
And from the notes here, and correct us if we're wrong, it's going to be at the West Ada YMCA.
Yep.
And what are the expectations for the team for state, both as a team or teams, and then individually?
So we have 16 athletes across the 4 schools that are competing. I would say that we are hoping to get a few state champions out of this year. We have a really good lineup through all 4 of the schools. So we have Sadie Schaefer, who is seated first in the 100 free and the 200 IM. So she is supposedly going to get first unless something happens, which I doubt.
Knock on wood.
Yep, knock on wood. And then Columbia actually has a great men's lineup this year, and they are set to be in the top 3 for relays.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we expect good things this year.
Have you seen from either this team or or when you were swimming, any state records broken by any
yeah.
teams? Yeah.
Yeah, every year. There's
Nice.
every year at least one person or one of the relays breaks record.
Gotcha.
This year, districts, Shady Schaefer actually broke her own 100 free record from last year. She had a 54.
Because why not?
Yeah,
sure.
why not? She had a 54 and she broke it going a 53 in the 100 freestyle, which is very impressive. And we have multiple relays that are seeded to break previous records. So,
Nice. Cool. And so that's tell us again when and where that is, and can people just come out and watch?
So you actually have to get tickets today. Today is the day that you can buy them online. They're pretty grabby because there's not a lot of space, but it is at the West YMCA in Boise, and they should be live streamed off of IHSA's website. So please watch. We would appreciate it. And yeah, you can buy heat sheets online. You can watch it online. If you want to come in and see if you can get in, you can totally try and do that. Tickets just sell very fast.
What would you say in your first year of coaching you have learned, not only about coaching, but about yourself, your style, things that you want to bring over to next year, or things that you think you might change?
I think that this year, I've really learned about, because I've only ever coached younger kids. And so coming into this, coaching kids that were, some of them are my age, some of them are 18. It's a little bit harder. I think I had to definitely earn their respect more than I thought I would coming from swimming on this team. I thought I would just kind of have it, and I didn't. I think that also comes from coaching mostly the JV kids. But I really enjoyed it, and I think that my personal style has definitely changed a little bit. I'm definitely more of a hard coach than I thought I would be. I definitely cracked down on them part of the way through the season because they weren't performing in quite the way that I expected them to be. And I never thought that I would be the coach who was like, okay, well, if you're not going to do this, then just get out of the pool kind of a thing.
Ooh.
Which is...
Fish out of water.
I know, yeah. And so I guess that's what I've kind of learned is I'm definitely a little bit harder than I thought I would be, but I still, my thing is I want you to leave practice with a smile.
Nice.
And if I make you cry, I'm not doing my job right.
Yeah. So what about throughout the year, does the swim team have fundraisers or anything, or how do you get the word out and make sure that you guys are getting community support and whatnot?
Well, we haven't really.
Okay.
I think that's
still new.
Yeah, I think that's been most of the problem that we've had is we really don't fundraise ever. I think it's been mostly on me though. I have family friends and family members who have sponsored the team for things that we've needed, so we haven't really needed to fundraise.
Okay. So it's all who you know.
Yeah. And it's really nice we get to do these things, but then we don't get out into the community. And I think the community doesn't even know that we exist, so that's a little bit harder. And it's a little bit harder, I think, because people don't know about us. We don't really get talked about a whole bunch. We're not that big. We had I think 30 swimmers this year for all of the schools. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's a big thing for us is not necessarily being known by the community, so we can't be a part of it. And I think that we're just too focused on our own thing to put ourselves out. But I know that we have gotten a little bit more this year, a little bit more attention this year. I think it's mostly because of some of our swimmers are in leaderships in their schools. And so since they're in leadership, they're like, hey, this is something that we have, come and pay attention and watch. And we actually had a pretty big group at senior night this year, which was really awesome.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, and like you were saying, it's your first year. Yeah. So you were just getting your swimming legs under you, if you will, in terms of coaching. And hey, maybe start branching out a little more
hopefully
next year.
Hopefully we want to we're in our building years and we would love to get a big group of kids.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So this is the part of the podcast where I just ask something completely random. Yeah. And it's somewhat swimming related. So I was looking up here because as you're talking, I'm trying to think of who is a swimmer I know, and there's only one, Michael Phelps.
Yeah.
And that's the only name I can come up with, to be honest with you. So I looked up what he eats before, the Olympics and stuff. It says here, for breakfast, he had 3 fried egg sandwiches with cheese, tomatoes, lettuce, fried onions, and mayo. 3.
That sounds good.
But that was followed by 3 chocolate chip pancakes.
Oh.
And that's not all this says. After the sandwiches and pancakes, it was time for a 5-egg omelet.
Oh, my God.
3 sugar-coated slices of French toast, a bowl of grits, 2 cups of coffee to wash everything down. That was just breakfast.
Wow.
For lunch.
When does he compete?
This is just his diet here. For lunch, he would have almost 1 pound of pasta, 2 large ham and cheese sandwiches on white bread smothered with mayo, and another set of energy drinks. Now, if that's not all, for dinner, he would add another pound of pasta with carbonara sauce, a large pizza, and more energy drinks, which would total, according to this article from NBC News, upwards of 10 to 15,000 calories a day, which is enough to feed 5 average guys.
Yep.
So that said, what was your pregame or meal of choice? What was the diet of Madi Bernard during swim time?
Well, so with swimming, it's full body. You get every single muscle in your body works when you swim, up until your jaw. So you can kind of eat whatever you want, and as long as it's high protein, high carb, you're pretty good. Need some fats in there, but you can pretty much eat whatever you want. I didn't eat before swimming when I was at meets just because of nerves, and I didn't want to get sick. But after, I would carbo load. The night before, I would carbo load. I'd probably have pasta, lots of bread.
3 pizzas.
Yeah, definitely 3 pizzas.
40 egg sandwiches.
Yep. And then after, I would eat, and I'd probably eat about 7,000 calories.
Wow.
Worth of food after I competed, and then I would go into a coma and sleep it all off.
Not a literal coma.
No.
Food coma.
Food coma.
Food coma.
So wait, you wouldn't eat at all the day of, or just not right before?
So meets are all day pretty much. So meet kind of works like a track meet.
Okay.
So it's that kind of all day aspect, and I would be really just uptight and nervous and stressed about my swims because I was always wanting a PR, and because after a certain point I got put into a group where I was swimming with kids that were 5 years older than me, and I wanted to impress them. And so I was so worried about competing that I couldn't eat because I was so stressed. But yeah, I know it's different for everyone. I know that some of my swimmers this year, they eat before and after. They eat something small before and then they eat something bigger after, or they just don't eat at all and then they eat heavily before and heavily after.
Okay. So the old ancient myth, don't eat before you swim or you'll sink.
Total lie.
Okay. Good
Total
to know.
lie.
You didn't have to wait a half hour?
No, I used to eat Big Macs, I would get out of school, I'd go get a Big Mac and then I'd eat it and then I'd jump in the water. Within 10 minutes of it.
It's right to the bottom.
Right to the bottom.
So with that said, Matt, I'm going to reach out to our nutrition services department and see if they can put together this meal here that Michael Phelps had. Yeah. And we're going to put a camera on you.
Oh, good.
Just see if you can take that down.
Just put me in water right afterwards.
Yep, right to the bottom.
Man, so Tyler, you used to play football. What would you do before games?
Really depended on when or where, because if it's an away game, we had to eat a lot earlier, so we just kind of have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and stuff. At home game, would try to do steak. Like you're saying, high protein steak and eggs, actually. Yeah. And it worked.
Yeah. I'd always do 1 or 2 chicken breasts and a big thing of pasta with that, and maybe a small salad. But
and a few Dodger dogs.
Bacon wrapped, plenty of onions, peppers, whatever it took. But obviously that's different than swimming because you're stopping sometimes when playing football. In fact, pretty often. And probably using a lot of your muscles as well. You got to, but swimming, man, It's just impressive what swimmers can do.
Yeah.
As you know better than anyone. Just I used to be a really good swimmer, but now I'll get in a pool, I'll do like 2 laps, I'll be like, oh my gosh, everything is hurting and I'm so tired.
Yep.
I mean, what just and we're gonna end in a second, but what is a typical training regimen like? And I know that's a packed question, but I mean, like in a day, how much swimming are you doing?
Or do you just yell at the students, hey, swim faster?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I do that. Well, I know for the JV, we'd hit about 2,000 yards a day.
Okay.
For the varsity, it could be anywhere from 3,000 to like 5,500.
Jeez.
And I know that the club, because they will practice for 2.5 hours, they can hit about 10,000
Oh my.
A day.
a day. Yep.
That's how you stay in shape right there.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Repetitive movements for multiple hours on end.
Enlightening stuff, Tyler.
It really is. And, Maddie, thank you for joining us on this podcast, whatever episode number I was trying to think of.
11?
11, 12.
Might be 11.
I don't know. And, good luck next week at state, obviously. We're looking forward to hearing how that goes and all that fun stuff. And for everybody listening.
Yeah. If you can, do you know offhand how people can tune in?
So like I said, IHSAA will be live streaming, and you should be able to get that when you go to the swimming portion of their website. Maybe you can find like a Facebook link. I am not quite sure, but I know for a fact that you can definitely find the live stream off of IHSAA to watch.
Okay. We'll do that. And that is Saturday when? Or I guess all day?
Friday and Saturday, the 8th and 9th.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Well, joining us today has been assistant coach for the Nampa Unified Swim Team, Madi Bernard. Madi, best of luck with your impending state trials. What is that what you call it?
Championships.
Yeah, state championships.
All right. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.